Get ready with me whilst we talk about health anxiety. So my health anxiety started 2 years ago and I was triggered by happiness. Like some people are triggered from a death in the family or someone close to them being poorly, but some of us are also triggered by happiness. Mine started because I had a pain in my left boob and I was convinced it was something serious. I can remember laid in bed, keep touching it and prodding it and like just feeling constantly to the point I had bruises from where I'd been like pressing it so much. I was Googling and I sent myself into an absolute spiral. I called the doctors and got an appointment that day. When I went, she didn't even feel them. She just said, I just had my implant taken out and she told me it was a hormone, it was my hormones, and that's the reason for it. And because she didn't feel it, I didn't believe her. I didn't believe what she said. So I rang back and saw another doctor who then did an examination and said, it's hormonal. You are absolutely fine. And that was when my health anxiety started. I then fell pregnant a few months later. He really took over and was impacting on me every single day. I was convinced there was something wrong with the baby. I was convinced there was something wrong with me. I can remember driving to work one day and getting pins and needles in my fingers, which is normal. But I convinced myself that I had a tumour in my spine, blocking my nerves, causing me to have pins and needles in my fingers. I was convinced. I can remember ringing my grandma and as I was saying it, I thought like something's not right. Like these thoughts I'm having aren't normal. And from then on, it just got worse. I would convince myself that a headache was a brain tumour. I would convince myself that I had breast cancer, stomach cancer, and I would just spend all my time Googling my symptoms, Googling the survival rate. It just never ended. It just honestly never ended. I can remember having my 20-week scan with Arlo and the lady saying, oh, there's a white like mark on the scan, you know, on the inside bit. I can remember led there and thinking, oh my God, I've got like cervical cancer. That's what they found. They found cancer like a shadow. When I got home, I rang the doctors straight away and had an absolute meltdown on the phone. I was asking them if they can detect things like that on pregnancy scans. I then found out when the last time I had my cervical smear test done, it was like a year and a half previous. So I did feel some kind of relief. But the whole pregnancy, I was convinced, up until my last smear, I was convinced that I had cervical cancer just because the radiologist, whatever they're called, that does pregnancy things, said that she found something on the thing. It could have been my placenta. It probably was my placenta. I didn't listen to anything else she said after that because all I thought was, oh my God, she's found cancer. That is all I thought. I even Googled, I can remember Googling pictures like, what does cancer look like on a 20-week pregnancy scan? Like I sound stupid saying it out loud. But I can't get this fucking name again. Having health anxiety, that is the things we do, isn't it? Our Google searches and stuff like that are atrocious. Like if anybody looked at my Google search history, the shit and the images I search, oh my God, is a joke. But do you know what? Living with health anxiety on a daily basis is so physically and mentally draining because it's all we think about 24/7, 7 days a week, no break. It's fucking hard. Every day I'm going to do Get Ready With Me and tell you my story from start to end, hoping that I can spread more awareness around health anxiety and show you that you're not alone in suffering with it. So for today, no Googling, because you know where that gets you. Nowhere. It sends us into an absolute fucking spiral.